Hi everyone. In today's lesson, I'll be going through the answers for the non-verbal reasoning practice paper. So let's get started. Section 1. Analogies. Look at the shapes below. The first shape is related to the second shape in some way. Find which figure completes the second pair in the same way as the first pair. So, if we have a look at the example one, we can see what's happened with the colours. Can you see that they have all gone up one? So, this has gone up here, this has gone here, and the stripes have gone there, and then the white has gone down the bottom. So we're going to be looking for one where this is at the top, this is the second, this is the third, and that's at the bottom. And you can see that is answer B. Okay, the shapes haven't changed, just the patterns. Okay, question 1. What's happening over here? We can see that the shape on the outside, the diamond shape, has moved to the right. And the shape on the inside, the circle, has moved to the left. And the arrow has gone 90 degrees clockwise. Okay? So let's do the same thing to this one. So we want this shape, the outer shape, to go to the right. So we want the hexagon to go to the right. So we can get rid of a few options here. Okay, so we're left with 3 options. The inner shape goes to the left. All of those are correct. The triangle's on the left. And we need the arrow to rotate 90 degrees clockwise. So it's going to go this way. So therefore, our answer is C. Question 2. So we can see here, the shape has changed the number of sides. Here we've got 8 sides to the shape. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And here we've got 7. We've got a pentagon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's gone down by 1. So this shape has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hexagon. It's going to go down to 5. So we want a 5-sided shape. And so what have we got with a 5-sided shape? Not this one, not this one, not this one. So we're left with 2 options. Then what's happened? Colour inside, which in this case is black, has become the entire colour of the shape. So this is going to become the entire colour of the shape. And you can see this is diagonal stripes going in this direction. That's why our answer here is E. Question 3. So if we look at what's happened between these two, we can see that any square that had a white circle, these have been deleted, which means that we need to delete these squares as well. So we can get rid of some options here. This has to be wrong because it's still got this square here. This one potentially could be right. This one could be correct because we've got a space there and a space there. This one is wrong and this one is wrong because this one has this and this one has this. Okay, so what else has happened? The squares that have had a black circle have become completely black. So these 2 squares have become completely black. So this is wrong. And therefore, we are left with answer C. Okay, question 4. Let's have a look at what's happened here. So we've removed, here we've got 3 vertical lines and 2 horizontal. And here we've got 1 vertical and 1 horizontal. So this has gone down by 2 and this has gone down by 1. And it looks, if we look at these circles down here, that could be the code for how they've decided to do it. The white circles could be changing the number of vertical lines that are changed, and the coloured in circles could change the horizontal. So here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 vertical and 3 horizontal. We've got 3 white squares, so this is going to go down by 3. So we want to have 3 verticals. 2 black squares, so this is going to go down by 2. It's going to be 1 horizontal. So 3 vertical and 1 horizontal, we can see is answer A. Question 5. So first of all, we can see that this shape has been rotated 90 degrees clockwise. So we also want this shape to be rotated 90 degrees clockwise. So we can see it's not this one, could be that one, could be that one, not that one. Where the black part is in the wrong part. And what else has happened? Well, here we had 2 squares and now it's turned to 3. So here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to need to be looking for 5. And if we see the one that has 5 squares is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, B. Question 6. First of all, we've got a square where the black arrow is pointing to, this square here, and you can see what's happened to that. It's been hidden. So that means this square also needs to be hidden. So we can get rid of this, we can get rid of this, and we leave the other options. Now, what is the lighter arrow doing, pointing to? It's turning this into black. So we want this corner here to turn to black. So we can get rid of this option. And we can see that the other squares haven't changed. So A would be wrong because this has changed. So actually our answer must be E. Question 7. So again, same kind of approach. If we see that these portions that have circles in them have become black. So that means these portions with circles must become black. So we can get rid of some options. This is wrong because this isn't black. This is wrong because this isn't black. This could be right, this could be right. This is wrong because it isn't black. So we're left with 2 options. So what else has happened? Let's look at the other shape. If we look at the square, these have turned grey. So our 2 squares here must turn grey. And we can see from that, therefore, that the answer must be D. Question 8. What's happened here is this dot has become a triangle and it's become a reflection of the other shape. And this triangle has changed colours to white. So here, if this dot is going to become a reflection, it's going to be something like this, staying in black. And this is going to go to white. So not this one, not this one, not this one, not this one. Our answer is clearly D. Question 9. What have we got here? It looks quite complicated, but actually, what can you see that there has been a rotation of the shape? It's been rotated 180 degrees. It's gone all the way around. Okay, and there's been some colour changes. But first of all, we need to look all the way around rotation. So we have an all the way around rotation. We see that this part here is going to go here, this small white square, and the bigger square is going to be here. So that's the wrong way round. This could be okay. This is wrong. Could be okay, and this could be okay. Okay, now what's happened to the colours? It's just reversed. Everything that was white has become black, and everything that is black has become white. So which one of these has that true for? We need that this white square now needs to be black, so we're definitely not having this option. And then this all becomes white in the middle, so we can see that the answer must be B. Okay, and the last question for this section. What's happened here? First of all, we've got 2 different types of lines. We've got dashed lines and solid lines. And can you see the solid line has become dashed and the dashed line has become solid. And that's true everywhere, including in the middle. So here we're going to want to have solid line. This is good, but here this should be dashed. So that's wrong. Solid, dashed, solid, that's good. Dashed, solid, that one's good. This one is also potentially good. This one is not right because we don't want dashes here, we want straight lines. And here we've got a solid, dash, solid, dash, solid. That could be this one. Okay, now that's what's happened to the shapes. They've swapped, haven't they? The black has moved to the top and the white has moved to the bottom and also over here. So we're going to want to have all black on the bottom and all white on the top. So for that reason, we're going to have answer C. Section 2. Coded shapes. Each one of the boxes on the left has a code attached to it. Each letter represents a different characteristic. Find out which code matches the figure given at the end of each line. So let's look at the example one here now. The method we do here is we find letters that are the same. So first of all, let's find shapes where the first letter are the same. So we can see this has got a C and this has got a C. And what is in common about both of these? They have a circle inside them. So since this one has a diamond and this one has a diamond, it must be E that we're looking to begin with. So we would get rid of these options. Now, what about the second letter? So we see 2 that are the same. This has got an H, this has got an H. Now what's the common in here? It's the placement. It's the placement of the shape is on the 9 o'clock, if it was a clock. So here, this is also in the same place. So we're also going to want an H. And for that reason, you can see the answer is B. Now here, same method as before. First of all, find 2 that start with the same letter, A and A. What do these have in common? Well, we can see that they have the white square is in the same place. So if this white square is here, we're going to want a white square here, so we're going to want a G. So ours is going to begin with a G. Now let's find two that have the same second letter in common, B and B. And guess what? That's the location of the black piece. And since the black piece is up here, we look for one over here with a black piece here, and we want a D. So we go for G, D. Answer C. Number 2. Same as before. Let's look for the first letter being the same. X and X. So what do they have in common? Both of their, inside the dotted lines, they've both got a circle. So, therefore, we're looking for a shape. Since this has a diamond in the dotted one, we want a diamond in the dotted one as well. So that would be this, which would be Y. So we're going to begin with Y. A second letter the same. We've got 2 examples. We've got S and S, and we've got T and T. And we can see that this is to do with the shape inside the solid box. So these both have a square, right, with the S's on the end, and with the T's, sorry, not a square, they're all squares. These have circles, and then for the S's, and then for the T's, these have diamonds. So we're also looking for a diamond, so we must be looking for a T, which is why D is the right answer. It can be a bit confusing, this one, because you might think it's to do with the colours of the shapes, but actually we can eliminate the answer without anything to do with colours. That was just to trick you. Now, what's going on here? So, once again, let's do our method. Start by looking at the first letter. We can see K and K, and we've also got L and L. And what do they have in common? Well, the K ends, well, they're just the same, they're the same figure, actually. So this doesn't really help us because it's the same name. So if we look at the L's, we can see that what do the L's have in common? They have where the black square is, and actually so do these, so that makes sense. So we want a black square over here, which means we're going to want a K ourselves. So we're going to get rid of the rest. And the second letter, we've got 3 N's here. And can you see what they all have in common? They all have the grey in the same place. So we want our grey on the top, which means we're going to want a P. And so our answer is KP. Number 4. So what do we have? We've got, this is A and this is A. And these are both squares. They're both dealing with squares. So we're dealing here with circles. So we're going to want the circle one for our first letter, which is a B. So we'll get rid of these other options. Okay, and then for the second letter, we can see these have the same last letter. What do they have in common? They both have one black shape. But there's another one we can check, which is this and this. And yeah, these both have 2 black shapes. So the second letter must be to do with the number of black shapes. We've got 2 here, so we're also going to want a G. So our answer will be BG. Okay, question 5. Let's find 2 that start with the same letter, R and R. So what is the common here? Well, they've both got a circle at the end of the arrows. Here we've got a semicircle at the end of the arrows, which means we would want a U to start us off with. Okay, now for the second letter, we've got both of these have a X, and that's, what have they got in common? Is the direction. They're both going this way. So since we're going downwards, we're going to choose the downwards one, and we're going to choose a Z. So our final answer is going to be UZ. Okay. Question 6. 2 with the same first letter, here and here. What do they have in common? They've got 3 white circles. Can't see anything else in common. 3 white circles. Here we've got 1 white circle. So we're looking at one with 1 white circle. We want an A. So we'll get rid of the other options. And now looking at the second letter, that's the same. We've got 2 E's here. And what could that be the similar? It looks like it's the shape. It's the star shape that are both the same in here and here. So we would want, here we want this shape with less corners, which is the same as this one. So we want a G. So we'll go for a G. Number 7. Okay. We've got an L and an L here. What do these 2 have in common? This one has got 4 black and 4 white. This one has got 2 black and 4 white. So it looks like the 4 white is the thing here. So this one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 white. So we need to find one with 6 white over here, which is going to be this one. So we know that we want to begin with a K because of the 6 white. Second letter, we look at it the same, P. Okay, well, what have these two got in common? We already know this is 4 black and 4 white. This is 4 black and 3 white. So this time it must be the number of blacks that are the same. This has 3 blacks, so we want one with 3 blacks. And 3 blacks is here, so we want KS. Number 8. Same first letter, we've got U and U. What do they have in common? They've got a circle in the middle. And it is a white circle. Else do they have in common? They have 4 sections. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, since this has got 3 sections, I think we're looking for something with 3 sections in the middle. So what would that be? 3 sections would be a V. So we're going to want to start with a V. Now, what about the second letter? These both have C's at the end, and these both have the same outer shape. So we're looking for a square in this orientation, which is like this. So we're looking for a B. So we want VB. Number 9. Okay, same first letter, B and B. Okay, what can we say about these? Well, they've both got a white shape in the same section. So this has got a white shape here, so does this. So we must be looking for a D. Now, the second letter that is the same. We have got an E and an E. And they've both got a black shape in the same place. So we want a black shape here. So we want an F. So our final answer will be D, F. Okay, and the last question of this section. So we look for the same first letter, K and K. What have these got? So they've got the circle is at the head of the shape. This circle is inside the shape, at the bottom, at the base, similarly to this one, which means we want an L. So we'll get rid of the options that are not an L. And then the second letter that we have the same are these P's, and that's giving us the direction of the shape because they're both going in this way. So we want a shape that's going this way, which is the same as this one. So we would like an R. And so our final answer is LR. Section 3, combined shapes. For each question below, find out which figure on the right can be made by combining the first 2 shapes. So the trick here is to look for things like length. Like for example, here we've got quite a long tail. So it can't be the fact that with this one with such a short tail, or this one, or this one. Really, it could be only one of the other 2. Then have a look at the fact of how the circle is. Right, the circle is half black and half white. The white bit is next to the tail. Okay, so if you see here, the black bit is next to the tail. So we don't want this one. And that's why the answer is B. Okay, so what have we got here? We can see that there's a square inside the dotted square and there's a black square inside the solid square. So this one is wrong because the black square is inside the dotted. This one could be. This one is wrong because the white square is inside the solid. This one is wrong because of the placement of this. It's not in the center. And this one is wrong as well because of the placement of that. So by elimination, we can see that B is the correct answer. Number 2. So we need to have the black piece goes with the white piece and the white piece goes with the black piece. So this is wrong because it's got black and black and white and white. This is wrong as well. So we're left with 3 other options. Now the smaller piece is with the white circle. So this one's wrong and this one's wrong, which means it leaves us with D. Question 3. So here we've got an arrow coming from the bottom into the middle. So it can't be this one because the arrow is coming from a corner. Can't be this one. Can't be this one because it's coming from in the middle of nowhere. Okay, and here this shape is coming from the corner. So it can't be this one. And therefore we are left with our final option, which must be E. Number 4. Okay, these ones are a little bit trickier. If you have a look at the shapes, you can see this has got a short bit and a long bit. Now, if you look at the shapes that are available to you, then you can see that some of them cannot be possible. For example, this shape does not appear here, okay, because this one, which would be the equivalent, is not correct. And this shape does not appear to be here because of this extra bit here. Now, looking at the second shape, you can see it's almost a rectangle, but just with a small opening. And let's see which ones we can't spot it in. Here, and I can't spot it here. And that's why the answer is A, because both those shapes are there. This one has been turned round 90 degrees clockwise, and this one has also been turned around 90 degrees clockwise. Okay, number 5. We can see we've got a long line in the larger box here and a short line in the smaller box here. So let's check. This is okay, this is wrong because this is bottom bit is obviously incorrect. B looks promising. C, this is wrong because there's no partition here, so it can't be one of the shapes. And this has got too many partitions. It's got this little extra bit here, which we don't want. And this one, the line is in very much the wrong place here. So B, which we thought looked good, is in fact the correct answer. Okay, number 6. So we've got a white heart, a black heart, and we've got this shape and this line. And look at all the positioning on them. Okay, that's really important to make sure that they can all be positioned. So A, I don't see any problems with that one so far, but we can come back and look. B, I do see a problem because why is there this space here? There's no space in the second picture. Again, between the white circle and the big circle. Here we have gone wrong, haven't we, with colours, because this should be black, so it's not that one. Here, what do we think? Could be that one. It could be that one. Okay, so between A and D at the moment, I'm thinking. E, what's wrong about this is this black circle here. Yeah. Okay, so let's go back, look a bit more closely at the line. The line has to be going across with the white circle. And that is the case in A. And the line has to be going across with the white circle. That is the case in D. I've seen it. This should not be black, should it? This black circle. So the answer must be D. See, they can be tricky sometimes. It can take a while, but you have to concentrate. Number 7. Let's go through again this and see what's wrong. That's basically the easiest way to do these ones. This is just to eliminate. This is incorrect. It's not the right size as this one here, is it? So we'll take that away. Here, this has gone wrong here, hasn't it? Because that's not the way the line is there. So we take rid of that. C, very wrong. We can see that this part here is incorrect. D, possibility. E, we are wrong because we haven't got this extra line. There's no lines in this one or this one, which would make the second shape incorrect. So here our answer must be D. Okay, question 8. So we need to have 2 white boxes, a black box and a grey box, and the arrows need to be pointing, one to the black and one to the grey. So this one's wrong because one's pointing to the white. This one's wrong because one's pointing to the white. This one's wrong because they're both pointing to the black. This one is wrong. So actually, just from that one thing, we know straight away it's E. And you can just double check that, and it does fit in there with this first shape rotated anti-clockwise by 90 degrees. All right, number 9. Let's see what's wrong here. Okay, we've got in the grey here, we've got a white dot and no dot. So this is wrong because we've got a black dot here. White dot, got no dot, that's fine. White dot, no dot. No, this one because it's got a black dot. And this one is no because it's got a black dot. And then we need to have a black dot. We're left with these 2. We need to have a black dot next to the one that has no white dot. So this doesn't have that correct, but this does. So it looks like C is our answer. Let's just check the rest of it. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, again, process of elimination. Which ones don't work? Okay, so have a look here to see that, for example, the position of the circle here is outside the line, okay, the white circle. So here we do have one like that. Here we do have one like that. Here we do. But there has to be another circle inside the line, right? So let's go through them again, see if we can spot any that are wrong. This has both. This has both. We've got a problem here. The fact that this is not connected, whereas it's connected here, so we can get rid of that one. And here, we've also got non-connection here, which is wrong. And here, this is in the wrong place. Okay, so we're down to 2. Let's have a look at the second shape, the one with the black on the outside here. And there is a gap here next to the white. So this one could be correct, apart from I didn't spot it earlier. But look, this should not be going through the line like this, because this doesn't go through the line in this first shape. It's on top of the line. So we've got down to this one. So actually the only one we've got left is B, and let's check it's right. The black is there. Yes, there's a gap. Yeah, it looks good. And that's the end of section 10. Section 4, folded shapes. Look at the shapes below. The shape on the left has a dotted line which represents the position at which it will be folded. Find the figure that represents the left shape being accurately folded along its line. Okay, so here we can see we have a horizontal line, and so whatever happens on one side of the line has to be directly reflected on the other. So first of all, this piece here, see, is going to go down like this. Now this piece here is going to go across and hit the line, and then this piece here like this, filled in, which is why you can see the answer is D. Okay, in this question number 1, we're going to fold along this vertical line. We have 3 parts to this shape. We've got 2 half hearts and this arrow, and we can see from what's going on with the solutions that all of these are showing shape of this size. So we're going to have been flipping over this way, moving over the right hand side to the left hand side. What's going to happen when we do that? Well, the 2 half hearts are going to go on themselves, and the circles are going to go on top of each other. So we won't have this one or this one, and the circle's not going to move down. And then the arrow is now going to be moving in the other direction, which is why the answer is going to be C. Question 2, another vertical reflection here. Now, if we look at the answers, we can see that we've got different versions of them going from one to the other. But if we imagine that it goes from the right to the left, then what's going to happen? This one is going to be incorrect, we can see, because of the length of the arms. Okay, this one again, because we're missing this part here. C is looking quite good. If you imagine moving this over to the left, this bit here would be like this, right? Which is exactly what we've got for C. D, we've got the wrong bits around. The black and the white are not in the right place. And again here, the black and the white is not in the right place. So these are wrong. And so our answer is C. Question 3. So here, have a little play. You can see what's happening we can get rid of straight away some with the wrong colours. So this one's wrong. Why is that wrong? Because the white is at the top and the black is at the bottom. And that's not going to happen when you fold the shape over, is it? This one's wrong as well because they're both at the top. And we know there's one at the top and one at the bottom. How can we look at the other shapes? So here, this bit is like there, right? Well, when it flips over, it's going to have to be like this. So this can't be wrong, right even. And this can't, just that one can't be right because its shape is like this. Okay, so that's one way to tell. And also with this shape, this has got 2 arms, which are going to do this. So D is incorrect because there are not enough lines on the page. So the answer must be B. Okay, question 4. So we've got another vertical line here, and it's obvious that the left-hand side hasn't been flipped over, right? Because we've got this shape here appears in all of them. So what we're moving is this side over here. Now, when that side moves and flips over, the straight edge will be there. These 2 bits will be there with the black and the white. So we can get rid of these that have the wrong shape curve. We're left with these 2, and the answer must be D because we need to have the correct colorings as well on the main figure. Question number 5. So we've obviously flipped over this way, haven't we? Because the main shape with the 3, all of the parts are facing in this direction, in the left-hand direction. All of the circles are on the left. Okay, so you must have flipped here. So these bits must have stayed the same. So let's just check there's anywhere those bits haven't stayed the same. Here, for example, that's not, the white is not in there. These are not correct, are they? Here, because this should be white. This one's possible. This one's no good because this should be black. And this one's no good because this is the wrong way. So I think straight away we can tell actually that it's C. But let's just check as well. If we look at the other side, we can see it's going to go white, black, black, white, black. White, black, black, white, black. Good. And they're all of the same length apart from the second one. All right. So that's perfect. So our answer definitely is C. Question 6. Okay, here we need to first of all decide which way has this thing flipped. Has it gone from the bottom to the top or the top to the bottom? So let's look at the ones where the T hasn't moved position. These ones. If the T hasn't moved position, then this also can't have moved position. That's fine there. This is not fine here. We get rid of this. Now the Y will have flipped, be up like this, and the arrow would have been flipped like this. So if we look at what left, A looks okay, D also again not okay. But let's just check the options where the T was flipped. Here, when the T has been flipped, then the Y should stay as it is, which means that this one is incorrect. This arrow should, T, because we're saying the T is flipping like this arrow should become like this, and this one should stay where it is. Here, the arrow is not correct. Here, the arrow is not correct. So we were right at the beginning. The answer is A. So sometimes you have to do both options before you can find out what's correct. Question 7. We can get rid of one straight away. What can I get rid of? This one. There is no way that this is the flip of anything because the shape inside hasn't changed. We can see we've been flipping this way because everything's above the line. All right. So we can also see that this part here is smaller, so it should be going inside when it flips. So not on top of it. So these two must be incorrect. Now let's check the colours. We would expect the colours to be exactly, we would have the flip here, we would have this here, this here, this here. Okay, so can we spot one? We've got two options, A or C, and it looks to me like the answer is C. Question 8. Again, same thing. So we've obviously flipped from the bottom to the top because this circular part here is in the top in all of them, right? So what are we going to know what's going to happen? Let's figure this out if we flip to the top. First of all, these legs are going to go like this. This box is going to go like this. And then the circle, remember that the circle will be reflect the other way around. The colour that's closest to the line of symmetry will also be close on the other side. So the black will be on the bottom. So if we just draw that out separately, we're looking at something like, well, we can just go through and see which ones we are. This first box goes inside, doesn't it, when it flips up? So we're not any of these. Must be one of these. We're not this one because the legs go up. And we're not this one because it's got the wrong colour of the black and the white. So actually we are D. Number 9. So again, it looks like we flipped up here because this bottom part has gone to the top. So let's break it down and see what would happen. First of all, this is going to go, this is a bit tricky to draw, but if you're careful, you might be able to. This is going to go like this, more or less, right? That's this bit here. The circle is going to flip over. And then these bits are going to be here and here. Now remember, the colour that's closest to the line of symmetry stays closest to the line of symmetry. Okay, we've got it like this. Right, let's see. A is wrong because this is incorrect. B, don't see anything incorrect at the moment. C, this is wrong because this is incorrect. D, we're missing the middle bit. And here we're missing the outer bit. So yes, B was the correct answer. Question 10. So here we are flipping upwards, okay, because everything's at the top. So let's see what's happened. This is going to be going like this. Yeah, we can see that this is at the same width. So it will touch the other pole. This will do this and will touch the pole too. And this will do this and will touch the pole too. And we can get rid of the bit at the bottom that we don't want. So this is a bit by eyesight. You have to check this one. A, I say is wrong because there's not enough gap here. B is looking pretty similar. C is wrong because of the colours of the flags. D is wrong because this bit is in the wrong place. And E is wrong because it's flipped over the actual black flag itself. So B was the correct one. Section 5. Hidden shapes. For each question below, the left shape has been hidden inside one of the figures on the right. Find out which figure shows the larger shape on the left being hidden inside. So we can see the shape that we're dealing with is this curve and this triangle, okay? And the triangle is below the curve. So clearly it's not this because the triangle is above the curve. Could be this one. It's, apart from actually, yeah, it can't be this one because why? Because the triangle is the wrong way around. It could be this one because it could be that you've got this bit here and this bit here that's been flipped. It can't be this one because we can't, this is too close, we can't see that shape, and there's no curve here, which is why the answer is C. Okay, on to the real questions. Okay, so we can see here, if you look carefully at the shape, we've got a kind of slice of cheese and a little ball, a little circle on the bottom left-hand side. So let's get rid of ones that don't work. This doesn't work, there's no slice of cheese in there, yeah? There's a slice of cheese here, but the ball is in the wrong place. See, this is potentially good because you can see we've got this and the slice, which looks very much like our shape. D, the circle is definitely in the wrong place, and E, this plate is in the wrong place. So our answer is C. Okay, question 2. So we're looking for this shape here. So let's have a look. Can we spot this shape? Here we can see there's one white and one black. So it can't be this part here. It can't be this part here. It could be either of these parts. But can you see the black is on the outside, not on the inside? So this is wrongly positioned and it's not this one. Okay. For B, we can see that potentially it could be inside here. We need the black on the outside, so it could be, for example, this part here. You see? That bit is correct. Okay, let's have a look to C. Can we see any of the bits where the black's on the outside? The only one where the black is on the outside is here, and that's got the wrong colour here or here, and that's in the wrong place. Here, this is in the wrong place, and here we've got a black in there, so these both are wrong. So just by focusing on that one little detail that was the black square was outside the rectangle, we could get the right answer. Question 3. Again, with these ones, let's think about which ones it can't be. So here we can see that this shape is not got a flat bottom, has it? So this can't be possible here. So this one is wrong. Here it could be, because we can see it could be this, and this part here. Let's just wait and see. Here, this is a wrong shape, isn't it? This one, no, because this bit here is in the middle. We don't want that. And here, no way. There's nothing going on there that looks like it. So we were correct with B. Number 4. Again, let's concentrate on colours and shapes and positions. So we've got black, white, and then black, and it's outside. So let's look at the ones that could be. Here, no, this column is wrong. This one's wrong. This one's wrong. Here, this could be correct, couldn't it, if it had been flipped upside down? Well, it'd been moved, rotated, because we've got black, white, black, black, white, black circle on the outside. That's a possibility. Here, this first one is wrong because the black has to be next to the white. The second one's wrong because the black has to be on the outside. And the third one. Fourth one, there's no black circle in the right place, right? We don't want it here or here or here. Okay, here, this one could be right, but the black circle is supposed to be next to the white. So we were correct. The answer is B. Number 5. So we've got this upside down triangle and a semicircle underneath it. Okay, and there's black. We've got this black bit in the bottom of the triangle. So let's get rid of the ones that don't have a black bit in the bottom of the triangle. B does have a black bit in the triangle. And in fact, B, we can see if we reversed it upside down, could be this shape. Let's just check the other ones are wrong. This one's wrong because this is in the wrong place. It should be the other way around, right? It should be like this. So that's incorrect. And again here, this bit here is in the wrong place. It should be here. So that's incorrect. And again here, it should not be inside the triangle. So our answer is B. Question number 6. Again, think of positions, colours and shapes. So here we've got this square in the corner, and in the same line as that we have the black circle. They're not in the same place. This one can't be right because we don't have the square and the circle in the same place. Could B be right? Well, I think there is a possibility because we could be talking about this. The white dot could be, of course, something else from some other one, and this. That would be the same if you rotated it 90 degrees counterclockwise. Okay, C, we have this black in the corner, but this should then be black, shouldn't it? So this can't be right. Here we've got no black circles, so this can't be right. And here we've got no black squares, so that can't be right. So B was our correct answer. Okay, number 7. So this one I think is a bit trickier than the others, but once you see it, it's quite obvious. So we're looking for this triangle shape and then this pentagon shape. Here, the triangle shape that is the same as this is here, right? But we can see that there's no line that's coming from that, or it doesn't look anything like it. Here is the triangle here. There is the line that we want. This bit here is not thick enough, is it? Here, however, we do look like we've got something that could work. We've got the triangle, and then we've got pentagon. That does look like that shape. Here, we haven't got enough bits and pieces, right? And here we've got far too many things for it to find where it would fit in. So the answer is C. Number 8. Okay, again, let's look at the position. This black circle is by the tip of this shape, okay, in the center. So where can we see? This one's wrong. The black circle's in the wrong place. This one's wrong. It's not. Well, you could imagine it's near this tip here. No, it would be inside the tip, right? If it was in here, it would be inside, so that's wrong. This one, it could be, because it could be like this being that bit, and the black one if you had turned it upside down. This one's wrong because this is the wrong colour, and this one is a lot going on in here. You'd have to really stare at this for a while, but the only real curved bits you've got, the black is not in the right position. The black is not next to any point, so the answer will be C. Okay, here we've got 3 black pieces and a white piece in between them, okay? So can we spot that anywhere here? Can't spot it here because here we've got black, white, black, but we need 3 blacks. Here we've got 3 blacks, but there's no white piece in the middle. And there's no 3 blacks here. There's no 3 blacks in the right way here. And here, yes, phew. This bit here and this is the same shape. So our answer is E. Okay, finally, question 10. What can we spot here? Well, one thing we can see is this little sneaky extra bit of line that comes out the triangle. So the ones that don't have that, we can straight away get rid of because there's nowhere for them to go. So as well, this one here, we can see the triangle doesn't have it. And here we can't even see that triangle. So I think we're really down to these 2. We moved the triangle so that the triangle was the other way around, like this. So this came off like this, and this was like this. Yeah, can you see it wouldn't work for B, because with B, you've got the triangle at the bottom here, and the line is not coming out of the point of the triangle, it's coming out of the base, so this one's wrong. So we think it is this one, but can we spot how? That's the question. Well, where is the triangle? The triangle, in fact, is here, like this, with the extra bit, and then here is the legs. That's the end of section 5. Section 6, odd one out. For each question below, there are 5 shapes. One of the shapes is not like the others. Find the figure that represents the odd one out. Okay, so we look at this example. Let's try a first thing, which is how many sides does each shape have? This shape has 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so it's not the number of sides. What else then could it be? Well, another thing to think about is symmetry. You can see here that each of these shapes have a line of symmetry through them, vertical line of symmetry, except for this one. If we did this, that does not count as a symmetrical line. That's why D is the answer. Okay, on to question 1. Okay, with these types, we've got different shapes. Let's start to count what we've got inside. So here we've got 1 diamond and 4 squares. Later we'll think about black and white if this doesn't help us. Here we've got 3 diamonds, and 2 squares. Here we've got 1, 2, 3 diamonds and 2 squares. Here we've got 3 diamonds and 2 squares. And here we have 3 diamonds and 2 squares. So it looks like we don't even have to look at the colour. It's obvious that A is the odd one out because it has 2 diamonds and 3 squares. That's what I meant to write. 2 diamonds and 3 squares. Okay, question 3. Let's have a look at what's going on with the circles. Okay, here we've got a small black circle attached to a black circle, small black circle attached to a black, two black circles attached to a white, two black circles attached to a black, and three attached to a black. So the number is different every time. So what must be the problem is C, because the black circles are attached to the white part rather than the red part. Question 3, let's have a look. So these all look like we've got a square inside a square in B, right? This square is a smaller version of the bigger square. Here we've got a square inside a square. Here we've got a trapezium inside a trapezium. And here we have a sort of bean shape inside a bean shape. But in A, we have a problem because we have not a circle inside the circle, but an oval. So this is why this one is the odd one out. In question 4, let's have a look at the placement of the circles. So here the circles is on a corner, a tip, on a corner. Here it's on the side, and here it's on a corner. So that tells us that D must be the odd one out because the circle is not on a corner. Okay, question 5. All right, let's think about counting sides again, because the arrows are going everywhere, aren't they? There's no pattern to the arrows. They're pointing in every direction. So let's see how many sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, pretty easy. Odd one out is A with the 6 sides. Number 6. We've got different shapes again, so let's do some counting of what we've got. Here we've got 2 multiplications and 1 plus. Here we've got 2 plus and 1 multiplication. Here we've got 4 multiplications and 2 pluses. Here we've got 3 multiplications and 1 plus. Oops. And here we've got 4 multiplications and 2 plus. Now, you might look at that and say, don't see any pattern there because it's all different. But what you can see is there is one shape where I should have put all the multiplications at the front. It'll be easier to see. Okay, so the multiplications are in the top row, right? And the additions are in the bottom row. And can you see that in each case, in A, there's more multiplications than additions. In B, however, there is less. But in C, D, and E, there's more multiplications. So B is our odd one out. Okay, number 7. So we've got 2 types of lines in each of these ones. One line is made up of this kind of shape, and the other line is made up of this kind of shape. So this we're going to call the shape that just has one angle. And this is the shape that has 2 angles. And can you see here? So let's highlight all the one angle shapes. This is a tricky one. But once you highlight like this, all the one angle shapes, can you see that all of them have a white circle on the end, apart from D, which has a black circle. Bit tricky, but get there in the end. Okay. So here, this is just looking at this one overall. I just see like this is look like it's pointing downwards, pointing downwards, pointing downwards, and this feels to me like it's pointing upwards. So E to me is the odd one out because it doesn't have one of its corners pointing in a downwards direction. Number 9. So if we have a look, we've got 3 different types of broken lines. So where's the biggest piece? Here, let's highlight all the biggest pieces. Now, straight away we can see we have an odd one out, don't we? B. Because B has a smaller dotted line for the biggest piece. And you can go through and check the rest, and you'll see that that's why B is the incorrect odd one out. Okay, and finally, question 10. Right, here we've got solid colour, solid colour, solid colour, line colour, I'll call it. For the line, we've got line, solid, line, solid, line, solid. So which one's the odd one out? This one here, where we have 2 solids. That's the end of section 6. Section 7. Reflection. Look at the shapes below. The shape on the left has a dotted line which represents the axis at which it will be reflected. Find the figure that represents the left shape being accurately reflected along its line. So here, if we're going to have a horizontal axis, okay, then this is going to flip down like this, okay? So you can draw the shape in like this, all right? Now remember, the same distance you are away from here to here, you have to be away from here to here. So this line that starts here should start around here. And this, which starts this distance away, should start this distance away. And since the black was closest, the black will be closest here. Excuse my not so beautiful drawings. But we can see there that the answer would be C. This line here should come a little bit further down actually, really, because it's coming from here rather than there. Good, right, on to the actual question. So, number 1, we're reflecting here in the vertical. So let's draw the shape, the exact distance away from that line, trying to be as accurate as possible. Drawing in the circle. Not bad, not bad. Now, what's going to happen to this diagonal line? That's going to go to here and then like that. Okay? And then this circle here is going to, if you think about it, remember again, the distance from here to here has to be the same as the distance from here to here. So it's going to be sitting here and black will be on the other side. And this circle here will be like this. And this will have, the colours, if that's a diagonal line, we need a diagonal line here. And the black will be like this. Okay, so from doing that little exercise, the one that looks the most like that, I hope, is D. So it helps to try and draw these ones out yourself. Question 2. Okay, we haven't got as much space here to draw this, but let's do it here. That shape is going to be like this. This, down, this, down here. Shaky. Okay, then let's think. This arrow part here, that's going to go the opposite way around. So the arrow will be there and the circle will be there. Okay. The black square will be the first square you see under the circle. The white square will be here. Then this arrow is going to go the other way around. So we'll have the arrow and the black circle. And this is going to go the other way around. So I'll have the white circle and the arrow. Okay, from that, can we spot which one it's supposed to be? I think we can see, yeah, it looks like E. So I really would try drawing these ones out yourself. Even if it's a bad little sketch like this, it will help. Okay, this one, again, I'm going to do it over here because we've got space. So we're going this way. So we draw the square. Then at the bottom, we're going to have this black section. Then on top of it, a slightly smaller bit, and then a square. Then this line, then this black bit, which goes to about the same bit as this, and then another line from here. Okay, from this masterpiece, what do you think it looks the most like? And I would say B. There's a pretty good representation. Okay, so just by building that up like that, it can become quite easy. Okay, number 4. I'm going to draw this above here. Okay, so taking it bit by bit, this shape is going to become like this. And the black dot. And then this shape is going to become like this. Use the normal. See that this is lined up here. And the white dot. So which one does that look the most like? I hope you agree, C. Yeah, you can see by the colours as you go through. Okay, let's continue with question 5. So this is a vertical one. So I'm going to put it over here where there's some space. Now, the actual diamond isn't going to change. Neither is this horizontal line going through here. Okay, now let's start from this side and move inwards. So this black part is now going to be on the far left because it was on the far right before. This horizontal line is going to stay here. This little square is going to fit down here, isn't it? Like this. Okay, now let's look at the other side. On the other side, we can continue the horizontal line all the way across. This part here is going to be like this. And then we've got the line at the bottom and the little black bit here. Then if we check which one does that most resemble, in fact, it's answer B. Question 6. So this is a horizontal symmetry, so I'm going to put it reflection, so I'm going to put it underneath here where there's space. Okay, first of all, I'm going to draw in the main shape, which isn't going to change. Now let's go again from the bit closest to the line of symmetry first of all. So that means that we're going to have the small partition or the smaller bit there, okay, and this won't change because it's not part of the line of, it's vertical rather than horizontal. So then what's going to go in this box? Let's go by each shape. This shape is going to look like this now. This shape is going to look like this. And then for the bigger shapes, we're going to have the drop going the other way around and the heart going the other way around. And you can see that that is the same as A. Okay, a vertical symmetry, so I'm going to draw it over here with a space. Question 7. Okay, let's start. It's a bit trickier on the eye, I think. But if we again start from moving towards the left, start from the bit closest to the line of symmetry, that should help us. Okay, and we'll see that if we draw it bit by bit like that, that first shape becomes like this, and the second shape, not easy to draw. See how they're overlapping? And then the lines, there's one line there, there's one line there, and there's one line there. Okay, and you can see that that is the same as answer E. Tricky, that one. Okay, this horizontal, I'm going to put under here. Okay, let's start from the part, again, closest to the line of symmetry. So these two lines will become here and here. Then we'll have our block. It's not quite to scale, but you can pretty much get it. Then our other line, okay? And then everything else is going to reverse. So this black arrow will be like this. I haven't got enough room here, have I? And then the circle, I'm just going to squeeze it in. And then the white arrow. Okay, and the circle, we can see, is going to have the smaller bit at the bottom. Don't know if you can see that, but if you build up something like that for yourself on a piece of paper, you should be able to see that that resembles B. And you can check out why the rest of them are wrong. Normally they're wrong just by quite small little things. Here we can see that the white and the black bit is the wrong way around for the small circle inside, because the black bit was closest to the line of symmetry, so it should be closest to the line of symmetry as well, which it is because it's this bit here. And the other ones, similarly, you can find problems. This one's got the wrong arrow in the wrong direction. This hasn't got the right lines in the place. And this has got the circle in the wrong place. Question 9. So we have a horizontal, we want black here, we have a horizontal reflection. So I'm going to put that here. And now we need to draw our 3 circles, which are slightly harder shapes. But again, start from the bottom, the bit closest to the line of symmetry. And that's the circle with a white circle inside. So therefore that white circle needs to be at the top. Since it's at the bottom here, it'll be at the top of the other drawing. So what happens is, you start to draw it by reflecting, and you will get a shape that looks more or less, it's not super easy to do, more or less like that, okay? And then your white circle will be here, and your black circles will be here and here. So that's why the answer is C. Just take your time drawing it out on a bit more space, and you'll be able to see that that is, look for this bit there and also this bit there, which is this bit there. That looks better in their photo than mine. All right, finally, question 10. I'm going to pop this one over here because we're doing a vertical one in this direction. Okay, now first of all, this is going to be very tricky to draw so many so many points. The lines in the middle won't change, okay? And then we've also got these sections here. And then we've just got to figure out how we fill everything in. Okay, so starting from this one here, which will be here, we can see that we should fill in all of this. And that is it. Then let's have a look at this section here, which will be this one down here. Okay, and we can see that we should fill in the outer bit and the inner bit. Moving around, let's now look at this one, which is going to go here. So we need to put in a line, and then we need to shade in. Obviously, some of these are grey and black, and I've done it all as black, so we'll have to be careful when we look at the final answer, but more or less this will help you. And then finally, the last one, we can see that this is segmented, and this is coloured in, and this is coloured in. So you should be able to see now that that is answer D, with these two bits here being grey, really. Here and here. That's the end of section 7. Section 8, complete the grid. In the larger square on the left, one of the smaller squares has been left empty. Find the figure on the right that completes the empty square. Okay, so let's look first of all what's happened on the left-hand side to go from here to here. Try and find something that is clear what's happened. For me, this black dot has moved 90 degrees, the shape and the dot have moved 90 degrees clockwise. So here the black dot's going to move 90 degrees clockwise. It's going to be like this, okay? So we can instantly get rid of ones that don't have that, and in fact that leaves us with just C. Okay, now on to the actual questions. Okay, again, let's have a look what's happened to the one on the right, going from here to here. Well, first of all, the triangle has flipped, hasn't it? And so this one is going to now be the other way around. It's going to be something like this. Okay, so we can get rid of the ones where it's not that way around. This one, there's only one to get rid of. Okay, the line, because the line was the furthest, the line here went from being at the top to at the bottom. So if it's at the bottom here, it's now going to go to the top of this one. And what's happened to the shape? The shape has moved from the top to the bottom. So this shape is going to move from the bottom to the top. And then in terms of colour, it's changed. That should be white and the actual shape should be black, right? Because that's what's happened from one to the other. So we now can see that our answer must be E. Okay. Question 2. So here, if we see what's happening, imagine you take this first shape here and you move it 90 degrees anti-clockwise, you're going to get this shape. And then if you move that 90 degrees anti-clockwise, you're going to get some strange looking diamonds here, but I think you're going to get it. You're going to get the black now at the bottom. Okay. The circle here, the grey circle here, and the grey one here. And then if you move that again anti-clockwise, 90 degrees, you will get the last one. So we've been going around an anti-clockwise motion. So therefore our answer is E. Here, what's happening here on the left-hand side? The shape has become smaller, the square has become smaller, and the arrow has moved outside. So we want the circle to become smaller, and it's changed direction, the arrow, right? So the circle needs to become smaller, so we don't want any of these. It has to come on the outside, and it has to change direction. So therefore it must be B. Okay, that one was a bit easier. Question 4. So let's see what's happened to the left-hand side. First of all, this shape on the top right-hand corner has become the big shape. And then this circle in the bottom left has come in the center. And then this shape here has become in the middle. So we need to recreate the same over here with this one. So first of all, we need that this shape here, the hexagon, becomes the main shape. So we can get rid of the ones where it's not the main shape on the outside. Okay. Then we want the triangle to go into the center. So we can get rid of the ones where the triangle is not in the center, and the small triangle. So actually all of these go. And let's just check. Yes, we are correct. This middle shape in A is in the correct position. On to question 5. Here, if we look at the left-hand side, what's happened? The triangle, which was in the dash shape, that dash square, has now become the main shape. So here, the hexagon, which is inside the dash shape, will now be the main shape. We can get rid of anything that is not a hexagon. Oh, we're already down to 2. And what else happens? Well, we can see that this shape in the other square becomes the inside shape and it becomes black. So this triangle should become in here and it has to be black, which is why our answer is going to be D. Question number 7. Here we've got a rotating shape. This shape here, can you see, is rotating round, boom, 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 like this. So in the one that we are missing, it's going to be facing to this direction. Okay, so we're going to get rid of this one and this one. What else has happened? The circle is moving from the outside at the top to the inside to the outside. So here it should be in the inside. And for that reason, we're going to choose answer C. We can check the white box is in the right place because it would be a white box there because the rest is going white, black, white, black. Number 7. So we're going to go round this way, okay, and see what's happened. Can you see here, this arrow is slightly outside. And here, this arrow is outside, and here, this arrow is outside. So it must mean that as it's been rotating round, the arrow that was outside here is in this position. So let's get rid of the ones where that is not the case, just one. Then the circle on the inside has been changing from white to black to white to black. So we're going to want a black circle inside. So we're going to get rid of this one. And what else? There's one arrow you see that points away from the shape. This one here. It points away from the shape. Here. And it is here. This has also been moving clockwise then. So we expect this one to be here. So which one is the one pointing away from the shape? It's going to be not this one, but answer D. Question 8. This is a bit of like an odd one out one as well, combined with the complete the grid. So if we look on the first of all, if we look down here, we can see that 3 shapes are grey and 1 is white. And if we look here, we see 3 are white and 1 is black. And that black one has gone up here. So that suggests that the black one was the odd one out. So therefore the heart must also be the odd one out. So the heart must be what we're looking for. And the heart must have taken on the colour that the other ones had, right? Because this became white over here. So our heart is going to become grey. Question 9. Here we have, if you go back to your vertical reflections, you should be able to see that this is a vertical reflection of this, just in there. The bits closest to the line, the bits closer to the line, furthest away, furthest away. So we need to also do a vertical reflection here. So it's going to be like this, right? And if we look at the options that we have, I would say it's A. And lastly, question 10. We've got loads of reflection going on here. We have a horizontal and a vertical reflection. So we need to reflect this shape horizontally and vertically. So think of the things that will just be affected, like these will not be affected by the horizontal reflection, just by the vertical one. So they'll just change sides. So we'll have the grey at the bottom and the white at the top. So we can get rid of these two. This part here will move down to the bottom. So we can get rid of this one. And then because we're doing a vertical and a horizontal selection, we can think about the colours in the boxes. I'm just going to get rid of this so you can see them. The colours are going to change so that the grey will become on the top and the black will become on the bottom. So the answer will be E. Section 9, matrices. For each question below, find out which figure on the right best fits into the space shown on the grid. Okay, if we have a look what's going on the grid here, can you see that first of all, going across, we've got one of each type of inside circle in the columns and the rows. What I mean by this is we've got a white circle, dotted, black. White circle, dotted, black. No white circle here, but a dotted and a black. So we're definitely going to want to have a white circle in the middle of this one. Now, let's look at the shapes. You can see we've got, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we've got 5, a 4, and a 6 in each row. So here we've got a 4, we've got a 5, here we're going to need a 6. So our 6-sided shape is D, and that's why that's the answer. So, what's going on here? Have a look at the bottom. What's happening with the dots? If we join them together, they make a square. So if we join these together, they make a hexagon. And our answer is C. Number 2. So what's happened to the top? We can see the shape had a 180-degree turn or a reflection. So the bottom one's going to have the same thing, which means that it's going to be upside down like this. And then if we look at the grid as a whole, we can see that this triangle is moving clockwise. So we need to look for the one where the triangle is moving downwards, and that gives us answer C. In number 3, I think you can see we've got a reflecting line here between these two. So if we do the same here, and we create that figure, this black side is going to need to be on the right, that's for sure. So we can get rid of this because it's not going to be on the bottom. We can get rid of this, and we've got 2 left over. And then we can see that the white shape is going to be underneath here. And moving in, we need to find this figure reflected on this side. And we can see that that is the same here. So our answer is B. Question 4. Let's think about the number of shapes. Here we've got 2 shapes, 3 shapes, 3 shapes. So it looks like we're going up by 1. So we'd expect 4 shapes in here. These were circles and circles. So we'd expect squares and everything here, which is what we've got. We need 4 of them. There's only 3 there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Could be that one. 1, 2, because only 3 there. 1, 2, no. Okay, so we're down to B or D. And then if we have a look at what happened here, these grey shapes became the centre colour. So since we've got black here, this should be the centre colour, and our answer is D. Okay, number 5. Okay, how many rows have we got here? We've got 4 rows. And how many rows have we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's doubled. All right, here we've got 2 rows. So we'll expect 4 rows. So let's get rid of the ones without 4 rows. Now we've got 1 black line here. What could that be to do with? We've also got 1 vertical line here. Now, since we've got 2 vertical lines here, I think we're looking for 2 black lines. So for that reason, our answer is A. Question 6. So again, like last time, we can see here we've got 3 different types of shapes, right? We've got this shape, we've got this shape, and we've got this shape in each row and each column. Okay, so what's missing here? We're missing the teardrop here. We're missing this shape, okay, which is one of these or one of these is missing here. So we need to get rid of the ones that don't have the teardrop. So we're left with these 3. And then in terms of the lines inside, we've got a straight line, a squiggly line, and a horizontal line. So here we've got the squiggly, we've got the horizontal, but we haven't got the straight. So that makes me think we're going to want C. Number 7. A little bit more tricky, this one, but you can figure it out. Can you see what's happened here? Look at the way that this circle has become this circle. And this diamond has become this diamond. Let's just check that our method works at the bottom row. This star has become the outside star. Yes. And this pentagon has become the inside pentagon. So we have a rule. That means we need this to become the outside shape. So we're going to have the pentagon become the outside shape so we can get rid of the ones without a pentagon on the outside. And it means that we're going to want the star to become the inner shape, which leaves us with answer D. Okay, question 8. First of all, let's see what's happened, the influence the left-hand column has on the middle of the column. That's quite straightforward. We can see this heart has gone to the right, this flower has gone to the right, and this outside shape should therefore go to the right. So we're going to want to have a star on the outside. Okay, what's happened from the right-hand column? Well, this outside, this figure here has gone to the left. Okay, the figure here has gone to the left. Figure here has gone to the left. So we're going to want one with that figure to the left so we can get rid of this one. Now the question is about colours. I'm going to remove all of these to see if you can spot it. Why we've got no colours in the left or the right columns, but in the centre column we do have one black. And where has the black come from? It's always come from the shape that had the circle in it. You see? So that's a tricky one. This shape had a circle, it turned black. This shape had a circle, it turned black. So therefore, since this shape has a circle, it should turn black. And that's why our answer to this one is B. Question 9. Let's again look at the shapes. We've got the same shape here, but they're different sizes. So we've got a big, medium, and a small. So this has got big, medium, and small. So if we look here, we're missing a medium for each column and row. So we can get rid of the larges, or bigs, that's what I called them. Now what else is going on with the lines? Can you see as we go across each row, for example, here is the line here, and it's also here as you rotate clockwise, and it's also here. Here there's a line, it's here as you rotate clockwise, and here as you rotate clockwise. So here is the line here, it's here as you rotate clockwise, and it should be here as you rotate clockwise. So that is going to be why we're going to want A as our answer. And the last one, question 10. We've got different types of gears and different colours, so we know how to do this. What's missing here? Black, white, grey, black, white, grey, black we need in here. So we're definitely a black. And what shape do we need? We've got one with the smaller amount, medium amount, and a large amount. We're missing the medium amount of spokes here. We're missing the one that has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 spokes. So that, by my calculation, is D. And that is the end of section 9. Section 10. Complete the series. For each question below, there are 3 shapes in a sequence. One of the shapes is missing. Find the figure that completes the series. Okay, so let's count. Here we've got 1, we've got 2, we've got 4. So we're going up here by 1. We're going up here by 2. And let's go up here by 3. So we'll be expecting 7 stars. So we can get rid of the ones that don't have 7 stars. But what else do we see? The size of the stars is decreasing. So we need stars that are smaller than this, which is why the answer is B, not A. Question 1. What's going on here? One thing we can see is that the shape in the bottom corner, in the positive diagonals, is not moving. So we're going to want a shape that has that as well. We can get rid of one option, which is A. Then we can see that between the other 4, they're just rotating clockwise. So this black one is moving from here to here to here. And then now it needs to be here. So the black one needs to be here. So these 3 options could be correct. We'll get rid of C. And then the black one has moved here. This diagonal one here is going to move here. So that could be not D, but it could be B or E. And then this vertical one is going to move into the horizontal position. So we're going to want answer E. Question 2. What is happening in this series? So we've got black stars and white stars, and we've got 4-sided stars and 5-sided stars. So it looks like we've got 5, 4, here we've got 5, 4, 5, here we've got 5, 4, 5, 4. So we're going to be looking for 5, 4, 5, 4, 5. So we definitely don't want one with 4 shapes in it, right? Definitely can't have a 4-sided shape at the top. And these are all 5s. So this can't be it. It's got to start with a 5, 5, 4. So it could be C or D. No, it can't be D because look, with D we have 4, 4. So our answer must be C. The black squares you can also see are moving upwards. The black position is going from here to the 2nd, to the 3rd, and now to the 4th. But actually we didn't need that to solve it. We had enough information just with the stars pattern. How about this one? Okay, again we've got 2 types of shape. We've got this shape and we have this shape. It helps to put some colours on to see what might be happening. Okay, so what's happening with the blue shaped? We've got 1 more each time, right? We have 2 here, 3 here and 4 here. So we're going to be looking for 5 blue shapes, which is a bit like this. So let's see what we can get rid of. This has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Could be that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's not this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Could be this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nope. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, okay, so we're down to 2. what's happened with the blue shapes is a bit like what we saw before. We've added, there's a series, we've gone from 1 to 2 to 4. So we've added +1, then +2. So we're going to add +3, which is going to take us to 7. So we want 7 of the other colour shape, the pink shape, which is this one. They look quite similar, I agree. Let's look at the ones that are left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nope. So see the magic answer. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Perfect. Question 4. We've got some rotation going on here. Can we see this shape is rotating 90 degrees clockwise each time? So if you follow the flag part, it goes here, then here, then here. So it's going to be here. So we can get rid of the ones that do not have, they all have that there. Okay. Then what's happening to its colour? It's going from black to white, black. So we're expecting it to go back to white, so we can get rid of this one. And then how about this shape here? That's changing colour as well as we are rotating. So we need to change that. It needs to now be black. And then what about this shape here? That is remaining black. So we need to shape it remains black, and it's changing position, isn't it? Because here it's on the right, here it's on the left, and here it's on the right. So we want it to be a black square on the left, which is why the answer is C. And if you were worried, if you weren't quite sure why the answer was maybe B, it's because the flag shape is moving from being on the thick side of the flag shape to the thin side to the thick side. So it's got to be back on the thin side here rather than on the thick side. Question 5. We've got some rotation as well. The shapes are going in a clockwise direction. This circle is moving to here, then it's moving to here. So we're going to circle heart. So we're going to expect a heart to be in this position, but we don't know which orientation. We've all got hearts in that position. Let's just check the rest is the correct way, because it should go heart, circle, square, arrow. Heart, circle, square, arrow, heart, circle, square, arrow, heart, circle, square, arrow, heart. Yeah, so not much use there, okay? With the clockwise rotation. Okay, so now what else can we look at? What's happening to the heart? The heart is moving itself anti-clockwise. So we're going to expect it to be in this position. So we can get rid of C. The white circle hasn't changed, so we shouldn't have a black circle. And the square is changing, isn't it? The square is changing from black to white, black. So now it should be white. So it could be either what we've got left. And the arrow is moving around clockwise. So we're going to want the arrow to be moving to its final clockwise position here. Number 6. This is a bit of a tricky one. If you can see that there is a line of symmetry through here, and each time the heights of the shape are moving back and forth across that line of symmetry. So that will just reverse it. So we've got this getting bigger, smaller, bigger, and then getting bigger, smaller, bigger. So our shape is going to have to follow this one, which is going to be smaller, bigger, smaller. So to look for one that looks like this pattern, this no, this no, this maybe, D maybe, and E no. Okay, and then let's figure out what's happening to the black and the grey. Well, first of all, this black is moving in one each time, isn't it? So we're going to expect it to be in the 4th position now. So we'd expect it to be here. And the grey should be here. So exactly this answer is C. Number 7. What's happening to our triangle? It's being rotated 90 degrees clockwise, which means we're going to expect it here to be like this. Okay, we can get rid of this one. The circle is moving, right? Because here it is at the top and here it's at the bottom, then it's at the top. So we're going to expect it again to be at the bottom. So we can get rid of the ones where it's at the top. And the colour is going from black to white to black to white to black. So we need a black. So we want E. Question 8. Okay, more rotation. So we can see by looking that the flower is moving clockwise. This grey goes here and then it goes here. And so it's now going to be here. Let's get the grey colour. We're going to have a grey in this corner. Let's get rid of anything that hasn't got a grey in that corner. Okay. And let's just check that we've got the right, should be grey, striped, black, white. So grey, striped, black, white. Grey, no, this one is incorrect because it's not following the correct order. Grey, striped, black, white. Good. Okay. Now what's happening? It's happening to the circle. The circle is moving anti-clockwise, right? It's moving from here to this corner and then to this corner. So we're going to expect it to move to this corner. And what's happening to its colour? It's changing colour. So it was black in the last time, so it should be white this time, which is why it will be answer D. Question 9. What's happening to this black square? It looks like it's moving anti-clockwise. It was here, and it's moved here, and it's moved here. So we're going to expect it to move here. So let's get rid of the ones where it's not there. Just one option. And what else is happening? We've got, can you see there's one side that doesn't have an arrow? So here, here, and here. So you can see that that is actually moving clockwise. So expect that to be up here, which is why I can't be this one. And I can't be this one. So we now need to choose between A and C, and we can see just by looking at the arrows, you see how this arrow points to the black one. So this should point to the black one when we rotate. So we want answer A. And the final question. Let's look at counting some sides and counting some sections or partitions. This one has 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides, and it has 4 partitions or sections. This one has 5 sides and 3 partitions, 4 sides and 2 partitions. Can you see the pattern? This is going to be 3 sides and 1 partition, which means 1 part, so no lines. So it's going to be our lovely triangle. And
that concludes today's lesson on our non-verbal reasoning paper. Hopefully that helped make everything clearer for you and you're now confident going about tackling each question. And as always, I'll talk to you in the next video.